Good morning. It is February 10th of 2022. This morning, I'm just going through these I am statements back here, and this morning was I bought with a price. Um, what is it? I bought with a price, and I belong to God. Sorry. Um, in this process, just I really like this deeper dive into these individual ideas, and their promises, and they're really just when I'm reading in, First Corinthians 6, 19, 20, and, you know, this whole thing is about sexual immorality. And Paul is talking about, we're bought with a price in our body um, for the purpose of the presence of God, the Holy Spirit residing within us as a temple, and he was calling a call to purity from sexual immorality. And I was just, going through this, I'm just looking at the general idea of it. Like in reality, like I just think 2,000 years ago, the Son of the living God, you know, like this is not just a history lesson where we read something, but this is reality. This is a this is not a religion. This is a faith in a living God who 2,000 years ago actually died and came and put his life um, on a cross to pay a penalty for me. Um, he chose me before I was ever even existing, and he died for me. And it's easy to jump out and not take it personal and not, um, I've always been like feel absent from that personal conviction that Christ died for me. Well, I always thought, well, Christ died for everyone. And so it's not just me he died for, but this thing is that he encompassed everyone that would accept him and everyone that he chose. And, however all that works, the predestination. But the thing is that he covered like his death. Yes, he did it once, and it covered the multitude, all sin, and paid the price for all sin. And he did that for us to have the availability. We're a family, we're a unit, we are God's chosen, we're adopted, and I am one of the family. And I should not feel that I am any that this insignificance of mine over somebody else's or the whole group should be different. That I'm included in that, and there's, I have to. There's a response that is demanded in this, right? When you start to realize that the Son of God died, lived, walked this earth, told his story, told everybody, shared his relationship with God and who he was and what he, because nobody knows the Father except for Christ, right? And so he shared the Father's heart. He shared um, the depth of who God is and who the Father is to us so that we can know him and know how to live this life free from, because the first Old Testament, it gives us all these rules to know God. And it's Christ comes to fulfill that and then shares with us the Father's heart and how that is all fulfilled in him, and that the Father, it's all paid through Christ. And this is there's a great thing here that is happening, that has happened. Um, and this price that's paid, I sit there and look at it 2,000 years ago and I'm like, well, the price is paid and it's over. But in reality, I'm bought. I was paid for. Like my life is now something that belongs to him. And you know, not only is it something that belongs to him, I want to freely give my life to him. This is it seems like an easy concept, but in reality, it's kind of, as seems like I'm struggling with words this morning. You know, um, I think of slavery. I think of, an indentured servant. Everything I do is always for money, right? Everything I do is always for a reward or what are you going to give me if I do it? And I live my life by that. I mean, I do serve in some aspects somewhere, but it's very rare because most of my job and my business is doing work for payment. And so I have this mindset of I will do this and I will serve you if you pay me. um, and so I just sit there and think that, you know, Christ paid a penalty and a price I could never pay. And he did that me, without receiving anything from me. And so for me, you know, I want to respond to this in a way to where I am loving God for his sacrifice, that I'm trying to return his love, not to earn his love, but to return it. And so it leads me to want to be more obedient, and it leads me to want to lean in a little bit more, and keep pure. This sexual immorality, like Paul's talking about, the where our bodies are bought with a price. We're purchased with a price, and we're a temple that we should be abstaining from any sexual immorality. And so that's lust with the eyes. That's thoughts in the heart. That's any kind of That's abstaining from masturbation. That's abstaining from anything that is sex outside of marriage. That's you know all that stuff that defiles the body. Even though sin is sin, but there's sexual immorality, and there's sin against the body that is drugs and alcohol. There's things that defile our body, and so yeah, I just want to just trying to chew this up and meditate on this word today, and you know bring it into reality in my life, that I am bought with a price and that I belong to Christ. I belong to God, and a price is paid for my life, and so I now want to live um, surrendered to that. So God bless.